afternoon, Mr. Kalyanji. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, നമുക്കിന്ന് നമ്മുടെ കൂടെയുള്ളത് നമ്മുടെ വീൽ CMA എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കമ്പനിയുടെ, അതായത് ബൈക്ക് ബസാർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കമ്പനിയുടെ ജോയിന്റ് മാനേജർ വടക്കേപ്പാട്ടാണ്. വെൽക്കം ടു ദ ഷോ, സർ. താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് ഫോർ യുവർ വാല്യുബിൾ ടൈം. താങ്ക് യു.
Thanks, Kalyan. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച്. ഇതിൽ നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ഇംഗ്ലീഷും മലയാളം എല്ലാം കലർന്നുകൊണ്ടുള്ള ഒരു okay, because we are catering to the audience of Kerala as well as some who speak Malayalam also. So
Sure.
Definitely language is also very important. So we'll just collaborate in such a way that people understand. Okay. So thank you so much. I mean, so എൻ്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ ചോദ്യം എല്ലാവരും ചോദിക്കുന്ന അതേ ചോദ്യം തന്നെയാണ്. Okay, what is your background and just a bit about you. Yeah.
Basically I am a economics graduate. Then I did a PG diploma from ESMT Berlin, but that was quite late into my career. I did after I started working. I started working quite early in my life. I started working when I was 22. I think next year I'm going to complete 40 years of professional life. So ഞാൻ തുടങ്ങിയത് ഉഷ ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ എന്നുള്ള ഫാൻസി എമിഷൻ കമ്പനിയിൽ I joined as an officer trainee in 83. അവിടെ 9 കൊല്ലം വർക്ക് ചെയ്തു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് I switched fields from consumer durables to automobiles. I joined Bajaj Auto Limited as an area sales manager. 7 കൊല്ലം ഞാൻ ബജാജ് ഓട്ടോയിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്തു. From area manager I became regional manager. And 92 again I switched fields. I joined a multinational US-based company called Trans-America Distribution Finance. They were setting up business in India and they wanted somebody, and they were starting dealers inventory funding start here. So they wanted somebody who understands two-wheeler business. And in 92 I joined Trans-America. But as it happens in multinationals, not 92, 99 I joined Trans-America. As it happens in multinationals, our company, they got sold to GE worldwide. And in India, GE didn't want to buy the Indian piece of the business. So ICICI acquired that business. So I joined ICICI Bank as a part of that acquisition. And ICICI Bank, I worked a very small state, 2 years, 2003 to 2005. ഞാൻ വിടാൻ കാരണം എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ ആ സമയത്താണ് Mr. Sanjeev Bajaj had started actively involving in Bajaj Finance. So I knew Mr. Sanjeev since when I used to work for Bajaj Auto. So he wanted somebody to revive the Bajaj Auto Finance. So since we knew each other, and another Bajaj Auto Finance in the core business was two-wheelers and three-wheelers. So in 2005 I joined Bajaj Finance. 2005 to 2016 I worked for Bajaj Finance. My last assignment was Senior Vice President and Business Head for the two-wheeler and three-wheeler business. I had a P&L responsibility. Other than finance and HR, all the functions used to report to me. 2016 this entrepreneurial bug hit me. So we started, me and my colleague from Bajaj Auto, Srinivas, we started this venture in 2017 ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ലോൺ ഡിസ്ബേഴ്സ് ചെയ്ത്. So we have completed 5 years. So that's my journey so far.
അതിലേക്ക് വരുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് അങ്ങ് ഒരു കേരളത്തിൽ ജനിച്ചു വളർന്ന് പഠിച്ച ആളാണെന്ന് ഞാൻ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതിനെ കുറിച്ചൊന്ന് കുറച്ച് പറയാൻ പറ്റും?
Yeah, sure. In fact, I am from the same place. All my close friends are in Palakkad. So ഞാൻ ചെറുതുരുത്തി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു സ്മോൾ പ്ലേസിലാണ് ഞാൻ കലാമണ്ഡലത്തിന് ഫേമസ് ആയിട്ട്. My father was a bank officer. 9th standard വരെ ഞാൻ അവിടെയായിരുന്നു. 10th my father got transferred to Palakkad. അങ്ങനെ 10th ഞാൻ പാലക്കാട് വന്നു. I joined Mission High School 10th standard. Then I did my pre-degree and degree from Victoria College. Pre-degree be science group ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ like that happens in another സമയത്തിൽ the only career prospect was be an engineer or doctor. So science ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ പോകാനാണ് എല്ലാവരും. But I never enjoyed science in my life. So after pre-degree ഞാൻ switch ചെയ്തിട്ട് I took economics, BA economics. And my ambition was to become a civil service officer. I was very fascinated by especially the IPS. അങ്ങനെ ഞാൻ economics എടുത്ത്. And while in college I was involved in many extracurricular activities. ഞാനൊരു പുസ്തകപ്പുഴായിരുന്നില്ല. While I used to study, I used to spend a lot of times. ഞാൻ വിക്ടോറിയ കോളേജ് യൂണിയന്റെ ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറി ആയിരുന്നു. I was a member of the college football team. I used to play cricket. പിന്നെ ആർട്സ് ഫെസ്റ്റിവലിൽ മിസ്റ്റർ ശ്യാം പ്രസാദ് ഇല്ലേ, ശ്യാം പ്രസാദ് ഒക്കെ എൻ്റെ ക്ലാസ്മേറ്റ് ആണ്, ഡയറക്ടർ. സോ അങ്ങേരുടെ നാടകങ്ങളിലൊക്കെ അഭിനയിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി ഹോസ്റ്റലിൽ. സോ ഞാനൊരു ഒരിക്കലും ഒരു പുസ്തകപ്പുഴായിരുന്നില്ല. സോ I used to enjoy life even when I was a student. Then ഞാൻ പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേഷൻ ചെയ്താൽ തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് എൻ്റെ ഒരു അങ്കിൾ ഉണ്ട്. ഹി ഈസ് എ റിട്ടയർഡ് DGP. അപ്പോൾ ഹി വാസ് മെന്ററിങ് മീ ടു ഡു ദ സിവിൽ സർവീസ് എക്സാം. ബട്ട് അൺഫോർച്ചുനേറ്റ്ലി ഐ ലോസ്റ്റ് മൈ ഫാദർ during that time, and I am from a typical middle class family, so we didn't have so much of money. Appo aa samayathe then I got this, verde applied on Usha International. I got this job. It was a good job, it was paying well. So I had to forget my ambition of becoming a civil service officer, and I started in Usha. And Ushailim in the first 8-9 years Kerala till 92 I was in Kerala. So I have strong feeling and love for Kerala, and especially for Palakkad, Kalyanji place.
Thank you so much. Okay, so that is wonderful. I mean, so a lot of great people are born in Palakkad. I mean, I'm just grown in Palakkad.
I don't think I achieved that greatness, but I still love Palakkad.
Okay. So Artha Chodyam, I mean, what was the spark for starting this venture? I mean, I think you started in April 2017. Okay, so what was the spark behind starting this, or is it because that you're fed up of working for someone? There are many reasons for people to start. No? So what was the
It is a mixture, Kalyan. Karanam, see, I had an offer from a competitor company as the CEO of that company. And so I was thinking, but only thing that had a real location. I had to shift to Delhi for that. And appa ഞാൻ പൂനെയിലായിരുന്നു. I had been in Pune for a long time, and so I was not sure ഈ സമയത്ത്, and I was doing quite well in Bajaj. Pono went there. അപ്പോൾ Srinivas, who is my co-founder, we have been colleagues for 2000. അങ്ങേരെ HR head ആയിരുന്നു Bajaj Autoയിൽ. അപ്പോൾ Sanjeev Bajaj, when he wanted to headhunt me, he had asked Srinivas only to headhunt me. So I know Srinivas from that period. And he was president of Bajaj Auto two-wheelers, and he had left Bajaj Auto. So I just wanted to bounce this idea of him. Then I asked him, so do you think that whether it makes sense for me to move to Delhi at this stage in my career? I am doing well there. So then he told me, see, Karna, we have worked for donkeys years for others. We know this business like the back of our hand. So why don't we do something ourselves now? So that was the spark. Then we said, okay, that's an idea. Now let us deliberate on it. So then we kept discussing about it. Then the pros and cons of doing it at the late stage, because both of us are rather scale too old to be an entrepreneur types. Early 50s. Normally, all these startups entrepreneurs are early 20s. So we are early 50s. So then we thought, let's do it. There is nothing to lose. We know everything about this business. So two things we decided was that we will do only something we know. I mean, and we had spent most of our career in two-wheeler business, whether it is two-wheeler OE side of the business or retail finance also. So we said that, microfinance was the flavor of the day. Everybody was talking about microfinance. That was what was getting maximum investment. But we said, hello, let's do what we know best. Let us play to our strength rather than to the external environment. So that's how we decided, and we started the venture.
That's a very valid point, because ഞാനിപ്പോൾ കുറേ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്സിനെല്ലാം കോച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നവരെല്ലാം മീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതെല്ലാം ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അവർ പലരും ഈ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് ആയിട്ട് വരുന്നു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പുതിയ ബിസിനസ് തുടങ്ങുന്നതെല്ലാം ആ സമയത്ത് ബിസിനസ്സിൽ ഭയങ്കര ബൂം എന്തുകൊണ്ട് അതാണ് തുടങ്ങുന്നത്, ഇറസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് ഓഫ് their knowledge in their business, and after fingers also. എനിക്കൊന്നും അറിയുന്ന person who has no idea about AI, and he got into an AI business, okay, because it is going to be the future. And this condition is pathetic, because he has no idea about it, and he has no control over the people who are doing programs. So it's a wonderful point that you made, that is, do something which you know, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so ഇതിലാണ് ഞാൻ അടുത്തൊരു ചോദ്യം തരാം. അതായത് ഐ മീൻ മെനി പീപ്പിൾ ഹു ആർ അഫ്രൈഡ് ടു സ്റ്റാർട്ട് എ ബിസിനസ് ആസ് വിത്ത് പാർട്ട്നേഴ്സ്. ഓക്കെ, അവർക്ക് പേടി പാർട്ട്ണർഷിപ്പ് തുടങ്ങിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പാർട്ട്ണർഷിപ്പ് ചെയ്യാവില്ല, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർക്ക് അങ്ങനെ പറ്റിപ്പോയി, ഇവർക്ക് അങ്ങനെ പറ്റിപ്പോയി. സോ അങ്ങനെ ഈ പേടിക്കുന്ന ഒരുത്തർക്ക് ഐ മീൻ ആസ് യു ഹാവ് ബീൻ റണ്ണിങ് പാർട്ട്ണർഷിപ്പ് ഫോർ 5 years now and doing it very well. Okay, so how is it? What is the kind of advice that you will be giving them, those who have some fear of starting a partnership business?
So, Kalyan, so I think any partnership is about trust. See, even whether it is your family relationship between husband and wife, I think it is trust.
Okay.
And I think any life or business has to be successful, you should have to trust each other. You have to trust each other's judgment, live with each other's mistake, knowing that it's a professional mistake. Appa njanum Sriniyum, we know each other from 2005. We know each other well. We have worked together for 11 years. He as the head of the two-wheeler business, I am as the head of the retail finance business. We know each other too well, and we have seen. And then there should be shared value systems. Both of us share the same value systems in life. In terms of, and Bajaj is a company which teaches the value system in terms of honesty, integrity, transparency, and things like that. So that is the point. You should know each other. You should trust each other. And third most important thing, your skills and strengths should complement each other. For Sriniy's strength alla ende strength alla Sriniy's strength. Srini is more of a a strategist, a thinker, a visionary, and things like that. I am more of an executioner. I execute ruthlessly.
Okay.
And both of us know, I know that I can do what Srini does, but not as good as he is. He also knows that he can do what I am doing, but not as efficiently as he is. So both of us, so I don't interfere too much in his domain expertise, and he doesn't allow intervene too much. We exchange ideas. Ultimately, we respect the proficiency you have in that area and leave it like that. So I think these are the three important things: trust each other, and same skill set edutha alakare eduthal endu vettu, then there is going to be conflict. If both of you have the same skill sets, then there is going to be conflict. And third thing is self-awareness is very important. You should be aware of what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. Nammal superhuman aanu enikku ellam cheyan pattunnu vicharikkannathu. I mean, you may be able to do it, but with different degree of competency. So I think trust, complementary skill sets, and then self-awareness. And I think that is what has made us stick together for so long.
Yeah, that is wonderful, because that our ego illade അങ്ങോട്ടേക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കിക്കൊണ്ടുള്ള ഒരു collaboration, that is very
I think that's it.
degree of growth of the partnership also, because എല്ലാവരും പാർട്ണർഷിപ്പ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ കുറേ പേര് പഠിക്കുന്നതിനുള്ള ഒരു കറക്റ്റായിട്ടുള്ള ഉത്തരമാണ്. Okay,
Which is valid. കാരണം even when you get married, if you don't get the right partner, the strains will start going. What is different in business? In fact, you spend more time with your business partner than your life partner many a times. So,
okay, thank you so much. So அடுத்தது, I'm just asking this particular question because you are able to identify the real gap in the market and start a business which has a real need in the market, right? So, what is that one quality that you make which differentiate yourself from other financing companies? There are a lot of auto finance companies, local companies, and all is there. അതിൽ താങ്കളുടെ ഈ കമ്പനി വീൽ CMA അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ബൈക്ക് ബസാറിനെ ഡിഫറൻഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു ക്വാളിറ്റി എന്തായിരിക്കും?
So Kalyan, your answer is in that question. Differentiation, that is our policy. So what you ask, no differentiation. So, see Kalyan, there are two ways of starting a business. Either you can disrupt an existing environment, like the Swiggy, Zomatos, Flipkarts did. They disrupted the way business was being done. Or you have to differentiate. You have to one of those. Otherwise, you will be a me too. Appa ഞങ്ങളുടെ strategy എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ whatever we said, we will differentiate and specialize. For example, in two-wheeler, ഞങ്ങൾ ഇറങ്ങിയപ്പോൾ in the new two-wheeler retail finance business, there are plenty of finance companies. Banks, it's highly competitive. You have to work at low rates, high payouts കൊടുക്കണം ഡീലറിന്, high exposures എടുക്കണം in terms of risk. അപ്പോൾ we straight away decided that we are not going to compete there. ഈ pre-owned two-wheeler finance business, there are very few financiers ഇല്ല, ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ തന്നെ അത് ഈ ലോക്കൽ ഫിനാൻഷ്യേഴ്സാ. നമ്മുടെ ടിപ്പിക്കൽ കൊളോക്കിയൽ ഭാഷയിൽ സെർട്ടു ഫിനാൻഷ്യേഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നവര് ചെന്നൈ, അതും എല്ലാ മാർക്കറ്റ്സിലും ഇല്ല. So that was a wide space, you could go and you can go and make a presence. And ഞങ്ങളുടെ again advantage, then our strengths played that, because we, having been in the two-wheeler OE space and the retail finance space, we knew these broker markets well. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അവിടെ എന്താ പ്രോബ്ലം ഉണ്ടാവാണ്, why are other financiers not being able to succeed? It's not that people didn't try, why they were not able to succeed. We knew about it, we had the knowledge about it, and that was a space. So that was our differentiating proposition. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് ന്യൂ ടൂ വീലേഴ്സിൽ വന്നപ്പോഴും again, no, we didn't go and compete in the big cities. If you look at new two-wheelers, we are not in the major metros at all. We are in the north and east. Why north and east? South and west, they are mainly banked. Banking is by and large better, and there is lot of competition in the retail finance. North and east, even though it is progressing, it is still not as banking this thing as the south and west. And nowadays, even though the banking has improved a lot, people don't trust banks, especially if you go to the rural areas. They are scared about banks. അവർക്ക് പേടിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് we saw a space there. അവിടെ ഞങ്ങൾ അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ ഡയറക്റ്റ് ക്യാഷ് കളക്ഷൻ മോഡൽ വെച്ചത്. കാരണം കസ്റ്റമർക്ക് അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ, if a customer doesn't have a banking also, he can do business with us. So that is the second differentiating proposition we did with the retail finance. Now the third thing we are doing is disruption. ഇപ്പോൾ pre-owned two-wheeler market ഇപ്പോൾ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, it is done by small channels. വലിയ ആൾക്കാരില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ കാറിന് പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, you have got Maruti True Value, you have Mahindra First Choice, you have got lot of organized players there. പക്ഷെ ടൂ വീലറിൽ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ that is not there. ചെറിയ ഷോപ്സ് ആണ്, 30-40 vehicles. ഇപ്പോൾ പാലക്കാട് പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് കാണാം, നൂറിനി സൈഡിൽ കാണാം, there are lot of shops. എല്ലാവരും 20-30 വണ്ടി വെക്കും. There are no big guys, and they are not very ambitious also. But that is an area where you can disrupt. So that's what we are entering. So to answer your question shortly, we decided that whatever we do, we will differentiate. We will not be a me too. I think that is our, so differentiate and specialize. That is our two mottos in this business.
So അങ്ങനെ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ ഈ ചെറിയ players are not at all your competitors.
Are you talking about the retail
second hand finance?
ഉണ്ട്, അവർ കോമ്പറ്റീഷൻ ഇല്ല പറയാനില്ല. കാരണം അവർക്ക് അവരുടേതായ കുറെ അഡ്വാൻറ്റേജ് ഉണ്ട്. They are very flexible. The bigger you become, you compromise on your flexibility. നമ്മുടെ your credit is centralized. So what decision we can take in probably half an hour, or local financier can take in 2 minutes. So but I think that the value we add is much more than what, കാരണം ഇവര് very high obscene interest ratesലാണ് ഇവര് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുക, ഈ local financiers. So and they don't take too much of exposure also. So what we are trying to be as nimble as a local financier while having the competitive advantage of a big financier. So that's what we want to give the customer, the same experience of a new vehicle even when he buys a used two-wheeler.
Okay. So I'm just linking my next question to this. Okay, ഈ ഒരു ഫീൽഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് two-wheeler finance, especially it is a used vehicle finance എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ, I mean, it is bound to have some lot of controversies. I mean, right? I hope you got my point.
Yeah.
Okay, so അത് അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഇഷ്യൂസ് വരും. ബിൽ ഹാൻഡ്ലിംഗ് കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സ് എന്നെല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞ ഒരുപാട് ഇഷ്യൂസ് വരാനുള്ള സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്. I mean, non-timely payment of loans. I mean, this kind of menace. How are you able to manage it without creating any kind of havoc in the sector or havoc in the media or whatever?
So it's a very good question, Kalyan. അതായത്, see, we normally don't use high-handed methods. Normally we don't use. But we persistently follow up with the customer in our own way. അതായത് door knocking, we call them without using high-handed methods. And even when we have to repossess a vehicle, we go by 100% rule of the law. RBI mandate ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന മാതിരി, അതായത് we give enough notice to the customer. We don't call between 7 a.m. I mean, we don't call before 7 a.m. or after 7 p.m. We don't use obscene words. So we, and even when to repossess a vehicle, ഞങ്ങൾ കസ്റ്റമർക്ക് നോട്ടീസ് കൊടുക്കും. We get enough chance. Repossess ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാലും as per RBI rules, we have to keep within 30 days. We have to give a chance to the customer to come and take back the vehicle if he wants. And so this is the legal side. ഇതിൽ ഞങ്ങളുടെ customers എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കല്യാൺ are customers who are lower middle class and below. So we are very sensitive to customer requirement also. So if the customer doesn't have an intention not to pay, see there are two types of defaults: intentional default and circumstantial default. Intentional default എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മളെ പറ്റിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് കാശ് തരാണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. സർക്കംസ്റ്റൻഷ്യൽ ഡിഫോൾട്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവന്റെ ഫാമിലിയിൽ ഒരു ആക്സിഡന്റ് ഉണ്ടായി, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലൈസേഷൻ ഉണ്ടായി, there is a marriage, when he is not able to pay that 1 month installment, then we are very understanding of the customer. We don't take punitive actions. So but if a customer is a intentional default, then we go legal and do all these things. So അങ്ങനത്തെ ഇൻസ്റ്റൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല എന്നല്ല, there has been instance, but I think it has been very very minor because of that. And second thing, we see there are certain areas and all where what we call areas where we should not fund. അങ്ങനത്തെ areas we keep away from funding also.
Okay, so you take a genuine decision and go as per your products and all those things.
Correct.
Sorry. Okay, so അടുത്തൊരു വളരെ ഒരു സ്ട്രാറ്റജിക്കലി ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ്. അതായത് ഇത് നിങ്ങളെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഒരു വൺ ടൈം പർച്ചേസ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ കുറെ വർഷം എടുക്കും അടുത്തൊരു വണ്ടി വാങ്ങിക്കാൻ, ശരിയല്ലേ? സോ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ലൈക്ക് സോ ദ കസ്റ്റമർ ലൈഫ് ജേർണി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, ലൈഫ് സൈക്കിൾ ജേർണി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ലോങ് പ്രോസസ് ഇൻ യുവർ കേസ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഈ കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സിനെ റീറ്റെയിൻ ചെയ്യാനും entertain them, keep them in their, keep you in their mind, what is action that you are taking?
So again, two things. Normally typical finance, what they do is they follow a customer. So നമ്മൾ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ബജാജ് ഫിനാൻസ്, which was the earlier company working in, അവർക്ക് ഒരു മോട്ടോ ഉണ്ട്: എവറി കസ്റ്റമർ യു ഷുഡ് സെൽ അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് 5 products. സോ ഇപ്പോൾ ആദ്യം ഒരു കൺസ്യൂമർ ഡ്യൂറബിൾസ് എടുത്ത കസ്റ്റമർ ആണെങ്കിൽ then you sell him a personal loan, then you sell him a auto loan, then you sell him a housing loan. So that is one way to do a finance business. ഞങ്ങൾ എന്താ തീരുമാനിച്ചാൽ we said we will follow the vehicle. So for example, a customer ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ഒരു 2-wheeler വാങ്ങാൻ comes to a new 2-wheeler showroom. അയാളുടെ കയ്യിൽ ഒരു ഓൾഡ് 2-wheeler ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ we will buy that old 2-wheeler. ന്യൂ 2-wheeler ഞങ്ങൾ ഫിനാൻസ് കൊടുക്കും. ആ ഓൾഡ് 2-wheeler ഞങ്ങൾ റീഫർബിഷ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഫ്രം അവർ pre-owned showroom we will sell it to the customer. Again we can sell a insurance, we can sell a loan to the customer. അതിന് we can give him a extended warranty. So typically 2-wheeler in the life cycle is around 15 years. That is what we are seeing. So we see multiple opportunities to generate revenue if you follow the 2-wheeler through retail financing of new as well as used 2-wheelers, exchanging of the old 2-wheeler, refurbishing it through our multi-branch service centers, and then selling it again through our pre-owned showrooms, financing it again through that showroom, giving him RTO services, document charge service, extended warranty and things like that. So we want to keep engaged with the customer and vehicle through the whole life cycle. So that is our strategy, and that's why we call ourselves the 2-wheeler specialist.
Great. Thanks so much. Okay, so 2017 you started. So what was the first year turnover that you did? What is the turnover that you did? What you're doing now?
So first year we did around, nammal disbursement noka, how many loans, what amount. So we disbursed around 30 crores disbursement. Last year we did 630 crores. Actually we were planning to do 1000 crores, but because of COVID related issues we couldn't do it. So last year we did 630 crores. This year we are planning to do 1000 crores. And next year 2500 crores. In 5 years we want to build a 7,500 crore finance book. That's our target.
Awesome, great. Let it be a reality soon. Okay.
Thank you, Kalyan.
So, ഇനി അടുത്തതെല്ലാം കുറച്ച് ഈ ഓണ്ടർപ്രനേഴ്സിനുള്ള ഒരു റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. I mean, what is the biggest advice for those who entrepreneurs who are planning to start a business, or like, I mean, should they start as soon as they out of the college, or കുറച്ച് ജോലി ചെയ്തിട്ട് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യണോ? I mean, അങ്ങയുടെ അഡ്വൈസ് എന്തായിരിക്കും to start a business?
See, until advantages and disadvantages in the Kalyan. See, there are people who have started fresh who has become very successful. There are people who have started old who are successful. Equal number of failures ഉണ്ട്. The advantage when you start young, no, you come without any preconceived notions. നമ്മളെ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് വരുമ്പോൾ there are bound to be prejudices that ഇതേ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുള്ളൂ, ഇതേ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യില്ല എന്നുള്ളത്. So if you are young, you don't have any inhibition. You are willing to take risk, and your risk-taking ability is also much higher. But the advantage the experienced people have, for example, people like us, young people know they have to keep making mistakes and learn. But no, we know and especially if you stick to your core, if you are doing only the business you have business in, then I think that experience has got lot of advantage because your learning curve is very flat. You can ramp up and scale very easily because you don't have to make mistakes and learn. So while there are and second thing, it depends on the flavor and funding climate. If 7, 8, 10 years back, every guy who was coming out of a IIT was starting a startup, and there were investors queuing up to give them investment. Now if you see, that stopped. Nobody wants to invest in people without experience. They want people who have seen it all, done it all, and investors want to invest in people who have run successful businesses. So if you are planning to start something big, I think you should see the investment climate around and also see whether if I start something, what is the investment around. So I feel that both advantages, disadvantages. More than that, no, Kalyan, I think first, whether you are young or old, you should see whether your idea is good. And know whether that idea, again I am saying, whether it is a differentiating idea or a disrupting idea. Adu nokanam. Karna ye me too ideas will never work. And second thing, then you have to test your idea with your existing customers, potential customers, people who have already done these businesses. And third thing is, no, don't go and start jing bang immediately. Do couple of pilots and then learn from what you get from these pilots. Run 2-3 successful pilots and then scale. I think the principle of doing a business is more important than whether you are young or old. I think nammal parayile oru business intelligence and acumen to understand the entrepreneurship nu parayunnathu. I have seen very, very senior people who were very, for example, Mr. Kattar. A classic example. He was the MD of Maruti. He started something what is called Carnation, Kalyana Rindao. I mean, while he was a very successful CEO of Maruti, when he started his own, he was not able to run it. So I think entrepreneurial instinct, probably it's a natural instinct. So I don't know whether I answered my question fully, but this is my...
ചിലർക്ക് ജോലി സ്ഥലത്ത് പോയിട്ട് അവിടെ മാത്രമേ ബ്രെയിൻ വർക്ക് ആവുള്ളൂ. ഓൺ ബിസിനസ് ബ്രെയിൻ വർക്ക് ആവില്ല. Okay, so ഇതിൽ വരുമ്പോൾ people are starting business, ഒരു വലിയ പ്രശ്നം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഫണ്ടിങ്ങിന്റെ ഒരു പ്രശ്നമാണ്. Because ഇവർ ബൂട്ട് സ്ട്രാപ്പ് ആയിരിക്കാം, പക്ഷെ കുറച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ how to fund it, what to do and all those things. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള സമയത്ത് if they really have to catch some funding, they really have to get some funding. Because you have got some busy fundings also. What is the thing that they have to keep it in mind to attract funding from external sources?
See, there are two kinds of Kalyan. The investors are also quite fickle. It is our experience. Some investors say, no, you bring scale. Profitability, baad mein dekhenge. Let us get scale. There are other investors who probably sit on your head after 1 year and saying, when will you become profitable? But again, Kalyan, part of the answer is my earlier answer. Your idea. See, what they will see is your idea differentiating or disruptive, and whether it is scalable. Now, this is to get the first investment. Kalyan Ariyalo, there are various stages. You have got venture capitalists, you have got A series, B series, C series. Appo first round kittan, your idea should be good. you should be able to prove the unit economics, and you should be able to prove that it is scalable. That will get your first investment. Then the rubber hits the road. Now you have to walk the talk.
Scalability is very important.
Scalability is very, very important. And second thing, then like I said, sometimes in our over enthusiasm, we will go and scale very, very fast without getting. And second thing, you should have a plan B and plan C also. If the best of ideas, and again, sorry, I keep jumping because my thoughts coming. A good idea is only successful if there is good execution. So you should have the ability to execute. Nammada pala ideagalum, because of lack of execution, I have seen it is failing. Not because the idea was bad, but you didn't have the ability to execute. So once you have an idea, you get the funding. You should be able to execute ruthlessly, and that is very, very important. And second thing, do small pilots, make it successful. See, pilot successful anengil, if you show 2-3 pilots without even before scaling too much, your second round also will come. So then first you have the idea. Second thing, you have showed that the idea can actually give results by doing pilots. Then you should go for the second round because you have shown that my idea is working. And then second round then you have to scale. And scaling, again, my thing is that go deep rather than go wide. Normally, we should be, if you suddenly, for example, in our business also, today we are focusing only on the north and east. We are not going to all parts of the country because we should be able to manage our business. The more you go wide, because in a startup, your resources are limited. You have to see how I will use my resource in an optimum way. So third thing what I think is that even when you scale, go deep before going wide. And once you scale and then people see that there is profitability, then I mean it's very easy to sit and say here. I know executing is much more difficult. So this is all you can do. And one thing that you should have conviction in what you are doing. I think that's very important. You should not get swayed by everything what the investor says. I mean, the investors are, again, I'm telling you, very fickle. So you should have conviction in your idea. You should have conviction in your execution capability. And even if there are setbacks, you should have learnings. That is one more thing, Kalyan, what I think, when you do a startup, you will have a lot of learnings. And you should learn and then you should correct it. And I always say, don't make the same mistake twice. One mistake if you make the same, that is learning. But if you make the same mistake again and again, then it becomes stupidity, which means you are never learn in life. And then I think if you do these things, you will get investors by and large. But having said that, there are flavors of the season for Kalyan or 2 years back, the investors were saying only give me scale. Now everybody is seeing show me profitability. So these things keep happening. So I think self-belief, conviction, ability to stay long. I think that's important.
ഞാൻ സാധാരണ പറയുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമുണ്ട്, പെട്ടിയിൽ എത്ര പൈസ വീണമെന്നുള്ളതാണ് അൾട്ടിമേറ്റ് വിജയം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്.
100%. ഞങ്ങളൊക്കെ അതേമാതിരിത്തുള്ള that is the difference between again the first young investors and then people like us. We will, of course, new business there is going to be some burn, but there should be a path to profitability. It cannot be a mad burn of cash.
That's right.
So that is what, and that is what investors are seeing now. That is why today they want to invest on companies run by experienced people. Because somewhere the cash burn has to stop and you have to make money. 100% I agree with you. Totally.
Okay. So ഇതിൽ അതേപോലെ വേറെ കണ്ടിന്യൂഷൻ, ഇതിന്റെ വേറെ പ്രശ്നം എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, I mean, not getting right people in the right places is one problem with most of the businesses. Especially you have an excellent HR head who specializes in PAPI, MBTA and all those things. So what is the attrition rate in your company and how you keep your employees happy?
So attrition rate I'll see at 2 levels, Kalyan. In lower levels we have got high attrition. When I say high attrition, it is as good or as bad as is in the industry. We have got around 20% attrition at the front level. But the good thing is that our senior management, nobody has left in the last 5 years.
Oh.
Probably there has been a forced attrition, but nobody has left voluntarily. Even in the middle and senior management. Middle management, probably 3%, 4% attrition, which is okay. Senior management, 0 attrition.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing is that the culture of the company, Kalyan. See, we are a very transparent company. Both Srini and I, we don't entertain politics.
Oh.
For example, if there is a conflict between two senior managers, which is bound to happen, the business head and the risk head will always have a conflict on how much risk you take, how much business we take. So we are very transparent. We don't entertain politics. Conflict in Dengil, we openly sit together and resolve the conflicts.
Yeah.
For example, we put two people across the table and then you say, now let us talk about it. You tell what you feel, you tell what you feel. And then both of them either agree, or if they don't agree, then we say, okay, now I am the boss, this is my decision. Now I heard both of you, I am taking the decision. So transparency, lack of politics. Then second thing, they should trust the management.
Yes.
That this company will survive. Yes. There is a vision, there is direction.
Yes.
I mean, it's not that that they will leave halfway. Yes. So again, trust is very important. They should trust the management. They should trust the strategy of the company. They should trust the vision of the company, and then they should and second thing, over communicate. We keep communicating to our employees. We over communicate to employees. But ഞാൻ ഒരു branch പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, including the peon I call in the branch, I don't say that I'll not. And I ask them, now I don't want to hear about, I have not come to tell you what your target is. I want to hear about you, what you like about this company, what you don't like about this company. And I want to hear more what you don't like about this company. Because there will be enough people who will tell me. Yeah. So, and we communicate to the lowest level of employee. It's not that people. And we then tell the employees of what we feel, what the direction is, what the role is. So we over communicate. And second thing, when you make a promise, we keep up the promise. We don't, and we are very frank in our conversation. If somebody, for example, if somebody comes and tells me that I am expecting a promotion, so we give him frank feedback. If he can give him, we'll tell him we'll give him. If he can't, we will tell him this is the timeline, and this is what we feel is the area, or these are your strengths, these are your areas of improvement, and this is where you work around, and this is where you do in the company. I tell you, Kalyan, 95% of the people like it. There are 5% who may not like it, but that's fine. But at least people know exactly where they stand. Yes. And then we raise an issue, we don't become personal in that issue. Yeah. And we always tell our employees, we are talking about your performance, not you as a person. Yeah. This is your performance. As a person, we respect you because we don't feel that we have got the right to ridicule anybody as a person. Yeah. So I think, so again it comes back to the culture and values of the system. And that is why I think senior people have not left the organization. Even in the middle management, very few people have left the organization. And we are approachable. Both Srini and I are approachable. Anybody can come and meet us. Anybody can come and talk to us at whatever level they are.
Great. ഇതിലൊരു 2 പോയിന്റ് എനിക്ക് ആഡ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, അതായത് ഇതേപോലത്തെ ഈ ഒരുപാട് പൊളിറ്റിക്സ് ഉള്ള ഒരു കമ്പനിയിൽ ഞാൻ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്ത ഒരു സിസ്റ്റം ആയിരുന്നു ഈ വാർ റൂം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സിസ്റ്റം. വാർ റൂം ഈസ് സെറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ആ റൂമിൽ വന്നിട്ട്, ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, both of us are in the same cadre or whatever it is, we have some issues. Okay, so we will fix a time. Okay, we will fix a time with the HR manager to come to that room. In front of HR manager, both of us will discuss what is the problem. Hello? So both of us can fight it out in front of the HR manager, and that will not be in the record. Kalyanji that will not be in the record, but ultimately we will move out of the room only after the solution comes out. Our war room.
Very good. Yeah.
KPI
but did it work?
Yeah, it does work. Did it work? It does work because if I ഞാൻ അങ്ങേ പറ്റിയിട്ട് വേറെ ആളോട് കുറ്റം പറയുന്നത് നിർത്തും.
Absolutely, very true. Yeah,
That is
very true.
yeah. So this kind of things that we introduced. Okay, so next is a couple of more questions. Sorry, I mean, ഒരു ഓണ്ടർപ്രണർ പലപ്പോഴും ഡീമോട്ടിവേറ്റ് ആവുന്ന സന്ദർഭങ്ങൾ ഒരുപാടുണ്ടാവും. So how overcome? You also would have in your journey. Okay, how you keep yourself motivated? What is the advice for them to keep themselves motivated?
So I think again your promoter is very important there. I think both of us. So there are times when I feel low, then Srini talks to me and then we talk. Times when he feels low, I'll do that. So yeah, we also have gone through tough times. I'll tell you a couple of examples. The second round of investment we had signed the term sheet. The guy was willing to invest money in the bank. RBI approval. And in between we ran out of cash. And our net worth lenders also stop lending to us because your debt equity ratio changes. And we had this investor, who had 100 crores in the bank. He wanted to give us the money, but we didn't have RBI permission. And it took us 1 year. So I think again it is the inner strength, Kalyan. See, I know you also are. I have a firm believer in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. And I think there are a lot of lessons and strengths which can be gathered out of it. And the one thing I always think, that you are responsible for your own fate. You don't allow third parties or the context to do that. And when you are stuck in a problem, you have to find your solutions. So, see, always I tell my team, you have got two choices. You can either keep banging your head there and nothing will happen, or you find a way to maneuver around that wall and find a way out. Yeah. So, it's difficult, but I think that you need somebody to comfort you. In my case, it is a promoter. It can be very good friends. In startup system, there are a lot of mentors who do it. Yeah. I mean, people who have done the startup, there are a lot of groups which stand by each other, the startup promoter group. Yeah. But namakku self-confidence and conviction that bad things will pass. And then we can't sit back and say, Ayyo, fate. You will have to work around, find solutions, take outside help. I mean, for example, let me tell one thing. We try to find out now how can we get it down. How can we go to RBI? And RBI is a very unapproachable organization. People. So we worked out and found solutions. We didn't sit back and say, I have given the paper now there. Now if they don't do it, what will happen? And things like that. So I think if you really have got the willpower to withstand. So as a world, how did we combat COVID? I mean, sometimes when you think about it, what you went through, I mean, how many people, how many industries closed, how many people lost their jobs and things like that. But people found out, Indian system, you have to find out a jugaad. So there are no easy answers, Kalyan. To put it short, you should have the conviction, and you should have a group of people who will mentor you, who will support you. And third thing, you have to find a solution for yourself. Whether it is outside help, inside help, who's your mentor, whom to hear. Keep away from negative people, especially. Who will only say, keep away from those people. So I think it's a variety of things. And keep busy yourself. Rather than sitting and brooding, keep yourself, have a hobby, go to the gym, play football, do something, read, music.
Read in the are you a vivid reader, or how reading has helped you? If you are a vivid reader, how reading has helped you?
See, reading has helped me a lot. To be very frank, Kalyan, I become lazy in mind that I don't read much. But I used to read a lot of books. But Kalyan, I don't know how much time you have. I think do you have time? I wanted to tell you an anecdote.
because ultimately it is going to help a lot of entrepreneurs.
So, ഞാൻ കോളേജ് പഠിക്കുന്ന കാലത്തൊക്കെ അന്ന് നമ്മുടെ റീഡിങ് എന്താണ്, അലിസ്റ്റർ മാക്ലിൻ, ജെയിംസ് ഹാർഡ്ലി ചേസ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ് അതായിരുന്നു. ആൻഡ് ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചു ഐ ആം എ വെരി ഭയങ്കര റീഡറാണ് എന്നായിരുന്നു എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിലൊരു തോന്നൽ. അപ്പം ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ലേ, മൈ അങ്കിൾ ഹു വാസ് എ റിട്ടയർഡ് DGP. സോ ഞാൻ അവരുടെ അങ്ങേരുടെ അടുത്ത് ഹി വാസ് മെന്ററിങ് മീ. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ അങ്ങേരുടെ അടുത്ത് ആദ്യം പോയപ്പോ I carried a Alistair MacLean book in my hand so that he will see that.
Get impressed.
So first thing he asked me, "Are you reading such shit?" So that is my first hit on my ego. So then only he put me into good reading, actually, the Bernard Shaw, George Orwell. So I think that was a very big turning point in my life when I became from a carefree college student to a serious human being. So there are different kinds of reading. There are casual reading, which also is good. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് അലിസ്റ്റർ മാക്ലിനോ ജെയിംസ് ഹാർഡ്ലി ചേസോ വായിക്കുന്നത് തെറ്റാന്നല്ല ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത്. But that is one kind of reading. But the other kind of reading which will stimulate your brains is when you read the good authors in life. So ഞാൻ ഒരുപാട് മാനേജ്മെന്റ് ബുക്സ് വായിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. But mostly I am thinking everybody tells the same thing. But in different ways, different this thing. So പിന്നെ ഞാൻ ഭഗവത്ഗീത, I am not saying this thing, but and especially when in times of distress, I read Gita even today, and it gives me a lot of solace. So പക്ഷേ ഞാൻ honestly I have become more of a TV watcher now in the last 3-4 years, which is not good. But reading has helped me a lot. എൻ്റെ മകൾ എന്നെ എപ്പോഴും കളിയാക്കും, ചെറുതുരുത്തി സ്കൂളിലാണല്ലോ അച്ഛൻ പഠിച്ചതെന്നുണ്ട്. So from there, I learned English. I could get some command over the language because of my reading on. And obviously it broadened your horizons also in terms of your perspectives, your ability to think, criticize, a lot of things. So reading, I would strongly recommend. Strongly.
In fact, the one book that I am reading now is, I don't know if you can see, the biography of...
Okay.
It's a very interesting one. I mean, so he's literally saying how we failed and why he failed. Like, so, I mean, so I think, as you said, the reading is very, very important. Okay, I'm just the final part of our interview. I've taken so much of time that I promise. When it comes to Kerala, I mean, is there any future holding on to Kerala or for the young generation? I mean, because it is becoming an old man's approach. I mean, so അങ്ങനെ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ കേരളത്തിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഫ്യൂച്ചർ ബിസിനസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ is there any future for Kerala?
Kalyan, അതൊരു difficult question അല്ല, but it's a sensitive question. It's very challenging, Kalyan. I think doing business in Kerala is very challenging. See, business it is not only your entrepreneurial ability, your external environment, how the ruling dispensation is, how the availability of labor, willing to work hard, willing to put extra hours without talking about unionism. I mean, I am not saying that you should take employees as slaves. I mean, it's a idarialo. So the case what happened in Muthoot now. It's one of the families which has invested a lot of money in that business, and so ultimately it's a very challenging place to do business. Industries and the Kerala. Now, if you see, there are only service industries in Kerala. Retail finance, I have not invested any money in Kerala other than manpower. Tomorrow, if I had to shut my business in Kerala, I will just cut my losses and I have to ask people to go home and come back. So, Kerala, why are there no capital investments in Kerala? Why are not businesses? Why are not... can Kerala... I mean, Kerala has got one of the most intelligent people in the state. So unless I think that, again I'm telling, walk the talk. I am investment friendly in the Parnetagalla. You have to be actually investment friendly. So service industry, not too much of a problem. because you are not investing anything. And if things, they just close down their branches.
That's right.
I mean, that's it, period. But if somebody is going to invest crores of money for Gwalior Ranks and Apollo Tires and many public sector, so for capital intensive industries, I would suggest that Kerala is not the right place.
But do you see any change in that attitude, or traveling frequently, getting feedback from people here? I mean, do you see any change in that thing?
Unfortunately, not in the ground. Talking, there is a lot of change. You can talk whatever you want, but walking the talk, I am not.
Okay. Anyway, I know that it's a very sensitive area to discuss. So thank you so much for your time, and you have spent a lot of time for this. I mean,
Thanks, Kalyan.
I'm sure because this is going to help a lot of entrepreneurs. I'll be sharing with a lot of entrepreneurs also. Maybe I do kind of fine touching up here and there. Okay, so I'm on a journey to help a lot of young entrepreneurs as well as those people who are already in the business. Okay, those who will be able to scale up also. Okay, so thanks for your valuable time, sir. Thank you so much. And
thanks, Kalyan. Any help, anytime for you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.